Margita Zamolova from Czech Republic.
Když dostanete příležitost od Boha soutěžit na největších soutěžích na světě, tak můžete mluvit o štěstí. Já to štěstí měla. Potřebujete k tomu pár faktorů, genetiku, možností, zdraví, musíte to hlavně chtít. Tak rok 2019 byl, když si zazpomínám, hrozně náročný, ale já jsem si to užila a bylo to super.
I felt a little out of place. I felt that I definitely brought a really good package at that show. I just definitely was not in the right division. So placing 11th at that show was not what I wanted for my pro debut, but I was glad I did it because it gave me direction in which to go. And I knew when I saw Margita, I said, okay, she is definitely, the champion tonight, because I mean, she's just streamlined and her conditioning was absolutely beautiful. So yeah, it was a learning lesson, but I'm still glad I did it.
Rok 2019 byl můj třetím Arnold klasikem. Není to jednoduché se odprezentovat před plným sálem diváků, před Arnoldem, před spousta dalším známým lidma, ale naučila jsem se nekoukat se do očí a soustředit jenom sama na sebe, je to nejlepší, ale povedlo se mi to a z 24 soutěžících jsem skončila pátá.
No tak já říkám, že chvala Bohu, že se vrátila. Asi to nějakou dobu trvalo, asi pár let jsem trošku jako byla taková skeptická, protože vlastně ta kulturistika, ženská kulturistika se ocitla úplně na okraji pozornosti a dění. Samozřejmě asi to bylo tím, že bikiny a fitness a tyhle. Ale jsem ráda, že se to vrátilo, protože potvrdilo to, že vlastně máme se vracet, jak se říká, ke kořenům a tohle to jsou kořeny. Ženské i mužské, a je to základ. A jaký to nabere směr? Já si myslím, že ten směr je pořádaný prostě jako u chlapů. Že na nás, ať už mužská nebo ženská, prostě ta ješitnost a prostě ta ctižádostivost dopředu. Takže můžeme zase, je to o svalech, budou to svaly, ale když tak koukám na ty ženský teďka, tak musím opravdu sklonit se před nima a není to jenom o svalech. Pro mě ne teda, já na to koukám trošku jako jinak. Je to o té připravenosti, někdy až brutální připravenosti, co se mně líbí, ale přitom je tam estetika. A to je základ, takže já si myslím jenom tak dále. A ať to zůstane na těch pódiích s těma chlapama.
for an athlete, I don't think it matters where you're from. Some people think the Americans have an advantage because we're here and there's maybe more media, but you got to remember a guy by the name of Arnold Schwarzenegger with a crazy last name and a heavy Austrian accent. Our current Mr. Olympia is from Egypt. He barely speaks English. I mean, you can understand him. We got a guy, Hadi Chupin, is from Iran. He doesn't speak English at all. So I think it's important for the athlete to not get caught up with feeling disadvantaged because of where they come from. I think it's important for the athlete to take advantage of all the media that they can get. Perfect and work on your English. It's a bigger market when you can speak English, but it doesn't matter if you speak English and it doesn't matter if you're from China. What matters is that you do the business of bodybuilding, promote when you can, get as many photographs as you can, try to get as many interviews as you can, and it's a sport of you get what you put in. You spend all your time in the gym, spend all your time in front of the mirror, and you spend none of your time working on your public speaking skills. You spend no time working on getting photography done. You do no interviews. That hurts you. So as a bodybuilder, you have to market yourself, work on your language, work on your voice and diction, work on promoting yourself. You have to take control of your career, because if you wait for someone to come and do an interview for you, you may never get that interview. With social media, you can take advantage of speaking to your friends in your native language, but also you can work on speaking English as well. It's a little harder when you're from Europe. It's a little harder when you're from another country, but we have some very good examples of non-speaking athletes that are at the top of the food chain, including our wellness competitors. Most of them are from Brazil. A lot of our bikini champions, I believe there's 4 or 5 in the bikini division, that are all from Brazil, from South America, don't speak English. So the Europeans, I think, have just the same advantage as these other athletes. You just have to market yourself and get in front of the camera.
I did not have any struggle because I was an English teacher in Romania. So I was taught, I went to university for that. So I had no problem with English.
Koncem května a začátkem června se mi povedlo vyhrát 2 prestižní soutěže, Puerto Rico Pro a Toronto Pro. Tím pádem jsem získala 2krát nominace na Olympii, na co jsem moc hrdá. Zatím v československé kulturistice se to ještě nikomu nepovedlo. Tajemstvím mého úspěchu je vybrat dobré soutěže a hlavně dobře je naplánovat. V Puerto Riku se zrodila myšlenka se nominovat na příští rok na Ms Olympia.
You know, first of all, I love women's bodybuilding. And I think when you look at female athletes or women bodybuilders, for us to have the physiques or to get that level of muscularity, you have to love it. And I always promised myself that I would continue to represent the sport and to be a strong woman. So for me, weight training is important, and I feel that the women, they are important, and so therefore I won the show 8 times, and I'm there for the women.
Yes, I did. Yes. She has such a physique where her muscle belly is just so round, so hard, and she's just so big and so much bigger than the other girls. And her body needs to be appreciated in a division where they appreciate muscle. And I don't think that they do that in women's physique, you know? So I think she just has the perfect shape for women's bodybuilding.
So I would credit my success coming from 10th place to first place in the Olympia. I placed 10th in 2018 and first in 2020, just to consistency and hard work. You know, always laying out a plan and just following step by step exactly what I need to do to display, you know, the best physique that I can, and ultimately it was rewarded.
Well, I had to really be much more strategic with my planning. So I had to really start to figure out a schedule that allowed me to optimize more of my growth. So as difficult as it seemed to be at first to implement, I had to structure my lifting at a certain time, and then I had to take a long period of time to rest before I got into my cardiovascular exercise. So that became, balancing my schedule became very interesting, because my energy levels would be kind of elevated after cardio. You know, you get a nice boost to your central nervous system, but I found a formula that definitely helped me to master it. So, because I lift pretty heavy still, moderate to heavy, and you know, I need enough recovery time later on throughout the day to make sure I have enough energy for the cardiovascular exercise. So that became my go-to recipe for how I launched into the success so quickly.
Sports and exercise is mostly considered as very healthy for everyone, especially for the older population. But some extreme sports like bodybuilding is sometimes considered as a pro-aging factor. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, I'm very much in favor of weight training, resistance training, but again, overdoing things in excess is not always the best. Just like eating too much protein, and you can end up with renal stones or higher blood pressure. You know, you have to do things in an intelligent fashion. But I'm very much in favor of resistance training, weight training, proper diet. All these aid longevity.
Týden před Olympií jsem se ještě rozhodla soutěžit na Rising Phoenix v Arizoně, kde jsem skončila 5.
Well, you know, bodybuilding during my era, it was only male and female in one category, just bodybuilding. Now bodybuilding has grown in such a way that it now has several different classes. For the females, there's figure, there's physique, there's bodybuilding, there's wellness, there's bikini, there's fitness. Everything you can think of now exists. So I'm glad to see that for the females, but I'm also glad for the males. You have the bodybuilding, you have the physique, classic physique, and the whole deal. So I'm happy to see that. Bodybuilding has grown first class.
To vzpomínám na to ráda, no, protože to bylo takový hezký období, kdy mi to šlo, nic mě nebolelo. Tak nějak opravdu jsem se tomu věnovala striktně. Ta dieta byla, to je vlastně 80-90% celý úspěchu, jo. A vůbec mi to jako nějak nevadilo, naopak mi to bylo jako, cítila jsem se hrozně dobře. A ještě když vidíte ty výsledky, no tak pak jsem si říkala, že bych teda fakt, on se furt říká, že na to mám a různý Pepi Karl, ta vlastně fotograf, který tenkrát mě fotil, tak říkala, že to zkusíme, že určitě. A já jsem si říkala, no, jste padlí na hlavu. No a pak to vyšlo, no teda.
It never left the stage. We brought it back to the Olympia stage, yes, but women's bodybuilding certainly never died. It was well kept alive by all the athletes around the world.
Já vždycky říkám chvala Bohu za to, co jsem dosáhla, protože když jsem začínala, tak jsem byla absolutní outsider na Olympii a nějak jsem se tam propracovala. Myslím si, že do takové pozice, že mě tam zaregistrovali, což je v Americe dost důležitá okolnost. A jestli jsem mohla někdy, když jsem skončila 7. v Chicagu, tak s odstupem času můžu říct, že jsem popravdě měla být ve finále, no, ale prostě nemohla jsem skončit před Laurou Kradal, že prostě to nejde, to byl pojem. Takže i Laura tenkrát, když tu formu měla horší než já, tak musela být přede mnou, takže jako, ale to není postižování, to je, prostě já jsem byla šťastná za to 7. Takže to je pro mě top, moje genetické top a teďka je to na ostatních.
Women's Physique Olympia v roce 2019 Las Vegas byl pro mě skvělým zážitkem. Z 19 soutěží jsem skončila 8., což pro mě byl skvělým výsledkem. Poprvé jsem byla v top 10 na světě, dokonce tam byly i naše dcery a mohly mě přímo fandit na soutěži. Koncem roku jsem ještě tradičně soutěžila v Rumunsku, kde jsem skončila 2. a ještě se mi povedlo získat stříbro v Kalifornii. Rok 2020 byl strašně náročný, protože byl covid a nikdo nevěděl, co bude. I can't let you go, there's no way. I'm already so still burning. So hold me close, now baby. I do what I'm told, still learning to take my chances, to take my time, to keep on dancing. Walk that line, yeah. You got me shifting the paradigm.
jackpot when I got the invite. Let me wrap my arms around you, cause I can't go home without you. And my heart just vibe with you, babe. Wanna go sky high with you, babe. Gotta bring you close to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. And I got to tell you, if you didn't know, then I got to tell you that you're my lucky strike. Cooler than cold, I'm falling. So load up the dice, so heavy. The way that you roll, I'm falling. So I never fall, I'm ready to take my chances, to take my time.
V roce 2020 jsem soutěžila kategorii Women's Physique na Arnold Classicu v Columbusu, kde jsem skončila bronzová. Byl to můj 4. a poslední Arnold Classic, zároveň tato kategorie byla naposledy v tomto roce na programu.
Love the way you ride, look into my eyes, say you're ready to go. $1 million life, we could roll the dice. Act like you surprised, but you already know. You're my lucky strike.
Tento rok byl znamenitý tím, že jsem se stala ambasádorkou Wings of Strength. Měla jsem podporu týma Jakea Wooda.
You know, to be honest, there was more of in the very beginning, let's say around 2006 when we started this journey, there was no specific plan at that point in time. You know, we knew that there were problems within the industry. We knew that nobody was looking after certain aspects of the industry. One of those being women's bodybuilding, and also, you know, there's other things out there. Yeah, and, you know, people ask, you know, why did we do what we do? It's very simple. I love bodybuilding, period. And you know, we knew one thing: if women's bodybuilding can go away, any division can go away, and we can't sit by and let that happen. There's no divisions going away if I can help it.
Yeah, when it comes to women's bodybuilding, of course, I mean, I like a complete physique, and right now Andrea Shaw has a very complete physique. She's not overly done, and she's not underdeveloped. She's in the right condition, which is why she wins every year. But I think it's up to the athlete. This is a sport of extreme. You're going to have some athletes that push the envelope and get really big and really muscular, both men and women. And you'll have some that like it a little bit smaller, more compact, more aesthetic, more athletic. When you find out your comfort zone, ride with it, run with it. I'm not a judge when it comes down to the physiques. I know what I like, and I like a well-developed, symmetrical, complete, defined physique.
Well, first of all, my name is Stacy Kaufman. I'm the founder of ProTan, one of the best tanning brands in the industry. I love the fact that we work with bodybuilding athletes all over the world. And of course, Margita is one of our favorite athletes. We met 2013, so we've known each other for about 8 years. And she's just truly a pleasure. I'm friends with her husband. I met her children. And she is the epitome for me for female bodybuilding. Many people don't know her as well as I think I do just from being with her for 8 years. But she is a family woman. She's a bodybuilding lady, but she loves her husband. She loves her daughters. She participates in everything with her family. And when I see her with Frank, her husband, traveling, I feel blessed to be a part of them as a team. So the cooperation is more of a friendship now because they're just lovely. And every time I see them as a couple together, it really inspires me to continue my business because they're why I love this. They're a husband, wife. This is their journey together. She competes, he supports, and that's what I personally love to do. I have my wife with me at the shows, and it just makes it a much better business. So my cooperation with Margita and Frank has been A+ since the beginning. Her as an athlete, she's the epitome. She is sweet. She's pleasant. She has a phenomenal physique. They tell her to get big, she gets big. They tell her to get small, she gets small. She does what the judges say, and you can't ask for more than that. I always wish her much success. She's won many shows. She's placed high in shows, meaning that high, like 2, 3, or 4. She's also placed low at shows, maybe 8, 9, 10, and even past, and she keeps coming back. So for me as an owner of a brand called ProTan, she's what I truly love. She's a fighter. Win or lose, she's fair to everybody, which is what we are as a company. And I think she's just been great. She's my friend. Her husband's my friend. And it's a blessing for me as an owner of a business to recognize that I have friends around the world. And Margita is definitely one of the women bodybuilders that really is great for the sport. That's my personal opinion. I have the best for me, and it works out well. So I hope you understand my English. I know this is over in Czech Republic. I don't even know any words in Czech. Maybe somebody could tell me to say thank you. Frank, help me. How do I say thank you in Czech? How do I say thank you for your time?
Děkuji.
Děkuji. And thank you again. And once again, Margita is terrific.
Měla jsem dostatek bodů na kvalifikaci Women's Physique Olympia, ale tento rok jsem se rozhodla, že se nominuju na Ms Olympia. Ms Olympia je královská disciplína, vracela se po 6 letech na scénu. S velkým očekáváním jsem odjížděla do Alicante na první profesionálnou kulturistickou soutěž. Spousta lidí mi nevěřilo, že to dám, ale mně se to povedlo. Vyhrála jsem soutěž, dokonce jsem vyhrála ve 2 disciplínách, co jsem se nominovala na Ms Olympia. To se taky ještě v Československu nikomu nepovedlo a já jsem vybrala kulturistiku.
Margita Zamolova.
Oh, I mean, I still adore her physique. She's absolutely a wonderful competitor because, again, she always brings such a pleasant physique to the stage. So when I know she's going to bring her conditioning. You know what I mean? There's certain things that are calling cards for some competitors, and, you know, I know when she hits the stage, she's going to be conditioned. So I utilize it to motivate me, but, you know, we've kind of really fostered a friendship over the last, oh my gosh, since 2019. So, you know, I always look forward to seeing her, but, you know, I definitely know that it's always going to be, hey, you better make sure you're on your game because she's coming.
Yeah, she did very well. She performed very well, confident on stage. And there was a nice, you know, transition from the women's physique to bodybuilding. She has the size, she has the condition, the fullness. So I think that was a good move for her.
I think Margita Zamolova is one of the most conditioned athletes in the women's physique division. She's been doing it for a long time. She has a lot of muscle maturity, and, you know, I think she's beautiful. I think she has, you know, really great posing, and like I said, she always comes in very conditioned, and she's very, very consistent.
Well, Brigitte has been at the border between the physique division and the female bodybuilding division. So it depends. Sometimes if she comes in too depleted or too dry, she might look smaller. And sometimes if she manages the carb up, then the muscles look bigger. So depending on how her shape came up in some of those shows, you know, she would always sometimes would be like appropriate, sometimes would be too small. So that's it. It's a matter of those two factors.
Tak upřímně to zase až tak moc v tuhle dobu už nesleduju, bych se přiznala. Ale každopádně teda velký klobouk dolů před Margitou v těchto letech. To sebeodříkání a tak všechno dohromady. To byl jeden z důvodů, že už jsem se na to vykašlala, protože jsem byla permanentně unavená už, jo. Hlavně pak jsem měla teda i ty 2 děti, takže mi to dávalo dost zabrat. A nechtěla jsem se věnovat, no to se musíte věnovat 100%, buď tomu, nebo tomu. Takže když jsem se 100% věnovala cvičení, tak ty děti trošku jako, ne, že bych je někam odkládala, ale snažila jsem se samozřejmě pro ně dělat co nejvíc, ale ono to úplně nejde, no, skloubit.
Well, the good thing about bodybuilding is it's ageless. All right, it doesn't matter if you're 50 or 100. The only thing the judges are looking at is what you look like. If you look the part, if you got the physique, that's what they want to see. You're in first place. So that's why they have different categories. But the bottom line is listen, we've got Kamel Algarni in there, still competing in the Olympia, lost by 1 point last year into 212. He's 50 years old this year. So age, that makes no difference in bodybuilding.
Když jsem si uvědomila včera vlastně, kolik nám je, tak mě to docela zaskočilo. Pořád nás mám za mladé holky. Ale já si myslím, že tady nehraje věk takovou roli. A u Margity, jako u těch ostatních, to je prostě taková ta zarputilost, to prostě chtít něco ze sebou udělat, dokázat a ta cílevědomost, a to ona má. My to máme trošku obě dvě v tomhletom, nebo měli jsme, já jsem to měla, ona to má. Stejné, že prostě my nejsme geneticky, jak se říká, ti géniové, ale prostě ta ctižádost, ta urputnost nás dovedla tam, kam jít teďka a mě kdysi. Že jo? Takže já si myslím, že je to jenom o to, aby sloužilo zdraví a pak je to otázka trošičky štěstí, ale ta záruka, že ona je ten brutál, který do toho jde a dá do toho všechno, tak ta tam je. Takže pak už jenom říkám, jenom trošku to štěstí, který musí člověk každý mít, no, tak o tomhle to je.
Yes, I love Margarita. Age is a number. That's what she's proving. It's just the age is a number. The body is the business. Dexter Jackson did it. Kamal El Garni from Libya, who now lives in England. These 50-year-old athletes are showing that there's a lot more longevity. And if you continue to train and eat right, you can do it a lot longer than most people can and do it at a very high level, and she does it very well.
Margita Zamolova, first of all, when I first laid eyes on her, I was so impressed with her level of muscularity. Her conditioning is amazing. She's always in great shape. But what I was most impressed with her is that she was able to bring both her muscularity and femininity together to present a beautiful package. I did recognize that when she decided she was competing in women's physique and not placing where I'm sure she wasn't happy with that, because she's a champion and Margita's there to win, so therefore she wants to win the Olympia. And her and we had a conversation in regards to the fact that I thought she would be excellent in the women bodybuilding division, and so she made that transition and she's been doing great.
Well, Margita's amazing. I mean, she's been competing for years. She doesn't seem to age. I don't know if she's a vampire. Something's going on there, but she looks absolutely fantastic. But you know what? That's what bodybuilding does for you. It's a good, healthy lifestyle. You can compete forever. Hats off to her.
Po dlouhé době kvůli covidu se Olympia z Vegas se přemístila na Floridu do Orlanda. V této soutěži se naposledy česká závodnice ukázala v roce 2006 a to byla Jitka Hrazimová.
The question is, what are my thoughts about Margarita's performance? It's a hard question for me because I'm not a judge. I'm not a bodybuilder. I'm a businessman that was fortunate enough at the age of 19 to invent a product that has become worldwide. So I love her. I thought she looked great. Personally, I know what she went through just from this watching them through the thing. So they asked her to come in a certain way, and she came in that way. So I think she did terrific for herself. I believe top 10 is a wonderful thing. I would love to see her place even higher, but it's a challenging sport, and the youth is coming in as well. But I think she did wonderful. And she's a representative of the sport, and everybody that sees her loves her. And that's what the goal is in this game, because not everybody wins. But when you inspire people to be in the fitness lifestyle or to motivate them, then you're a winner as well. And I think she's a winner, in my mind.
Oh my goodness. So I always make sure, because she's like the pinpoint of making sure that you stay in shape, that you stay super shredded. So you have to know that if you are going to step on stage with Margita, you better be ready. You better be in shape. You better do your cardio. You better eat your chicken. You better eat your vegetables. And so that's just how it is. She's one of those competitors that you get ready for because it makes you a better competitor.
Margita, she's got a beautiful physique. She presents herself excellently. We really appreciate that she's come over, from women's physique. And, of course, we need to, support women's physique as well. But I think Margita was always on the large side for women's physique, perhaps. And standing against the girls she stood against last night, she perhaps is not as big as some. I mean, it's kind of tough to stand there next to Andrea Shaw.
I think female bodybuilding is all about living a fit lifestyle for as many years as you can. So when we see athletes who are competing well into their 50s, it's a real testament to the bodybuilding lifestyle. And we're always very proud of the athletes that manage to be their best beyond 50 years old and into their lives. And I think we can all learn from them.
I don't know if I can see myself competing until I'm in my 50s, but I definitely see myself competing for a very, very, very long time.
We have a great representative here, Margita Zamolova. She's over 50s in her age, and she's she's the wife of Mr. Zamolova. And he's in a top athletic performance. So would you recommend something like that to anyone else?
Well, I mean, not many people can be as a high-level athlete as her. She's got great genetics and training and dedication and discipline. But a lot of what she does is the model for maintaining muscle mass, lean muscle mass, strength, and power as we grow older.
That is definitely an attribute that is there to be admired. I mean, it's incredible. I didn't know how old she was here until, I don't know, last year or whatever, and it's definitely very impressive. I mean, for anybody to maintain a physique like hers, period, is a great accomplishment. And to be 50 years old and at the very top of a very elite group of people, that's special.
I don't like to say women's age, but Marguerite's 50, and I'm actually 57, so we're getting up there in age. I sometimes feel even in the industry I'm an old guy. So for a woman of 50 to get on stage and look so darn good as she does, I mean, it's an accomplishment. And once again, her physique is only a small part of who Margita is. She is a beautiful woman from a mother, a wife. This is the value. So I think she looks great for 50. I think she looks great for 40. I think she looks great for 30. So young girls, watch out. I don't think she's going anywhere too soon, but she's the epitome of a female bodybuilder to do so much for her body and compete for so long. I've known her, like I said, for 8 years, so that's a long time in a bodybuilder. And she looks great. She's healthy. She's pleasant. And I think she's got a lot of competition in her. As long as she's having fun, why stop?
Nakonec jsem skončila v top 10 na 10. místě, což považuji za výborný úspěch. Můj cíl v roce 2021 byl jediný, dostat se do top 10 na Olympii a vylepšit si výsledky.
Měl jsem možnost například posuzovat zdravotní dispozice k absolvování vrcholového sportovního tréninku u naší, dá se říct, nejlepší kulturistky Margity Zámolové, kde v relativně vysokém sportovním věku vykazuje neuvěřitelnou schopnost absorbovat vysoké dávky sportovního tréninku. Je to pochopitelně dáno vyspělou filozofií přípravy a pochopitelně také striktním dodržováním dosud známých vlastně doporučení, jak si zachovat vrcholovou sportovní výkonnost. Pochopitelně tohleto nemá dán každý. Kromě těch vlastně, řekněme, vnějších možností jde určitě o určitý genotyp, který je k takovému to způsobu sportovní přípravy vlastně předurčena schopen.
Kvůli bodům a kvalifikaci jsme odjížděli do Karibiku na Bahamy a opět s náma byly holky, co jsme si moc užili.
I would hope so. When I look at her and you know, they tell me her age, it still doesn't register in my brain that she is as mature as she is. I don't like to say the word old, but you know, for her age, she is absolutely beautiful, and her composition is continuing to get better. So, you know, I really am inspired by her when I look at, you know, those aspects of her physique.
Well, I hope it grows. I hope it becomes more competitive, where we have competitors like Margita who give 100% every show that they do.
As long as I love what I'm doing, I'm healthy, I'm going to keep competing until my heart tells me to do.
Na Bahamách i v Portugalsku jsem skončila na 2. místě. Sice jsme body sbírali dál, ale pořád to ještě nestačilo na kvalifikaci. Zlomilo se to až v Alicante, kde jsem opět vyhrála a nominovala jsem se již na 5. Olympii a na 2. Ms Olympia.
Margita Zamolova from Czech Republic.
I feel female bodybuilding it continue to grow in that span, and I really feel that for an athlete wanting to continue to challenge, they should be able to do so. I love what I see in the way of female bodybuilding, and I'm so glad to see the professional end come back and the girls able to compete again. I thought it was a tragedy for them to discontinue that. So I'm glad to see it's back again. And the Wings of Strength is really leading the way in making that happen.
Covid v tomto roce pokračoval, tak Olympia zůstala v Orlandu. Povedlo se mi dostat do prvních 10 a nakonec se mi povedlo získat 9. místo. Včera jste přiletěli do Ameriky, moc jste toho nenaspali a dneska ráno si měla svůj poslední trénink. Jak se cítíš? Je to těžké pro tebe? No tak každá příprava je těžká svým způsobem, ale už jsem si na to zvykla, takže šetřila jsem si energii na ten trénink a hlavně já už 4. den nemám žádný sacharidy, jakože minimum, fakt jako málo, protože abych mohla pořádně zacukrovat, tak musím stáhnout sacharidy a prostě samozřejmě, že ta síla už ubývá, ale na ten trénink pořád najdu tu sílu. Byl to už poslední trénink před Olympií, takže už jsem do toho dala úplně maximum, všechnu sílu, co jsem měla, takže super. Co říkáš na Gold Gym v Okale? Je to úplně nová budova. Úplně luxusní, nečekala jsem, že to bude až takhle jako nově. Já jsem myslela, že ty Gold Gymy jsou všechny takový jako staromódní, ale tohle to je fakt jako luxus a moc dobře se mi tady cvičilo. Margit, je čtvrtek večer, jeden den do Olympie a jsme na setkání s fanoušky. Jak se ti tato část Olympie líbí?
Tak líbí se mi to moc, je tady strašně moc lidí. Musím říct, že už je to dost náročné. Den před soutěží už člověk je odvodněný, sice cukrujeme, ale už moc ne. Ale už se těším spíš, že to skončí. Jdu spát a zítra už to bude lepší.
Jak jsi strávila dnešní den? Byl to odpočinek, anebo jsi měla nějaké povinnosti?
Tak dneska spíš takový odpočinkový, samozřejmě měli jsme nějaké prostě povinnosti, ale ne tolik, takže spíš jsem si odpočinula.
Margit, je po semifinále, můžeš nám říct svoje dojmy?
Tak dojmy super, cítila jsem se tam dobře, krásná soutěž, prostě je to Olympia, nejlepší, co může být, takže jsem ráda, že jsem dostala do prvních 10.
Jak jsi vnímala soupeřky?
Tak soupeřky vždycky jako každý rok jsou moc dobře připravený, tak jsem se musela taky zamáknout prostě na své přípravě, aby to bylo trochu objemnější, protože sice jsem byla dostatečně, si myslím, že vypracovaná, ale soupeřky některé byly objemnější, takže ještě mi tam chybí nějaký objemy, ale vypracovanost tam byla super.
Podle vyvolávání to vypadá, že jsi se dostala do první 10.
Jo, určitě, vypadá to tak doufám, že i takhle to bude, tak aspoň večer na finále si můžu ukázat svoji volnou sestavu, takže bude tam ještě nějaké porovnávání, ale myslím si, že je dobrý.
Franto, jak jsi to prožíval, když tvoje manželka byla na pódiu?
No, jako vždycky jsem byl nervózní a držel jsem palce. Když bylo první vyvolávání, tak vyvolali 4, tak jsem strašně chtěl, aby byla v druhém vyvolávání a to se povedlo. Takže je velká pravděpodobnost, že se ukáže ve finále. to je fantastický, protože to je hlavní show, může ukázat volnou sestavu a je to strašně důležitý, že v podstatě v rámci toho hlavního večera může vystoupit.
Yeah, Ms Olympia has really gotten a lot of bodybuilding fans excited. Andrea Shaw, the reigning champion, is doing a great job of representing the sport and bringing in a different kind of a look. Female bodybuilding has really come a long way. I know our friends at Wings of Strength, our extended family at the IFBB Pro League, we've all worked very hard to provide opportunities for the female athletes to compete at the highest level. So I think there's a lot to be excited about with women's bodybuilding. Women's bodybuilding continues to grow. Each year we find new opportunities to give them bigger prize money, to create more marketing and visibility for them. And women's bodybuilding has come a long way, and I think we've just begun.
Po 10 letech tvrdé dřiny a soutěžení jsem se rozhodl dát si pauzu. Mám za sebou 10 let soutěžení, v kuse celkem téměř 40 amatérských soutěží a 27 profesionálních. 5krát jsem se kvalifikovala na Olympii, vyhrála 6 profi soutěží a 3 roky se držím v top 10. Každá soutěž je pro mě další trénink a motivace se rozvíjet dál. Chtěla bych ukázat a motivovat lidi, že kulturistika, pokud se dělá správně, je provozovatelná úspěšně v jakémkoliv věku. Těším se na další jízdu a pokračování, i když to trošku bude v pomalejším tempu. Budu cvičit do té doby, než mi to tělo povolí.
Walk through life. Every day is a new beginning. Shine your light. It's a day and the world is waiting. Move along to the song, singing in your soul. Feel the beat, clap your hands, let's take control. All you need, all you want, are you ready to find your way? through life. Every day is a new beginning.